Hello buddies, this is Assistant Professor Kailash Muralidhar Jaitwar and welcome you all for this lecture which is for BCCA Sem 5 students for CMA. And we have discussed about target costing, the theoretical part of target costing in previous lecture. But in today's lecture we will going to start our practical portion of target costing. Okay, so we will going to have today a question on target costing. So how target costing concept can be applied in practical manner, you can understand by this lecture only. To get more practical knowledge about cost and management accounting, you can explore different types of things which can help you to find your career in cost and management accounting through your various YouTube channels. There you can find your own interesting topics which you can explore to get more knowledge. We cannot do in this lecture because we have some time restrictions here. So to motivate you, I can say only one thing: grab the opportunity. You have time and smash your dreams. Grab your dreams. Okay. So now coming to our target costing concept, I want to introduce today the practical question in front of you. So what is target costing that we have learned in previous lecture? Today I am reading question for target costing, how to calculate target costing. We will going to start our question by word to word, but at a very quick manner, because in this lecture we have to read whole question which is too long, and I have to cover whole solution in this lecture only. So be ready, and your question you can find in your description box. So please concentrate and read the question properly before starting the video. Okay, before starting to the solution, you have to read whole question. Okay, so I am starting question. So what is the question? So we are going line to line. So what is the question? I am starting. A manufacturer produces two components, A and B. Okay, following will be the details for these two products, product A and product B. There is one company which is manufacturing product A and product B. So component A, there are details regarding product A and product B. So what is the detail for component A? For component A, annual production and sales of 1 lakh units at sell price of 100 per unit. Okay, annual for component A, annual production and sales of 1 lakh unit. Okay, and that will be sold out at 100 per unit. And for component B, annual production and sales of 50,000 unit at a sale of 160 per unit. Okay, now we are going forward for next some other details. Coming to the cost incurred are as under. What are the cost incurred for component A and B? Let's have a look. First, particular will be having 4 columns: particular, component A, component B, and the total one. First is variable cost, and in the head of variable cost we have two subheads: material and labor. For material there will be 43 lakh and 32 lakh for A and B. For labor 15 lakh and 10 lakh for A and B. Fixed indirect cost for machining is 7 lakh and 7.5 lakh for A and B, and engineering cost for A and B is 8.5 lakh and 14 lakh as well. So this is about your component A and B. You can get total from the extreme right corner of this column. Coming to the next details, there are following additional cost, and those are allotted there are following additional cost, except these the upper ones. There are additional cost, and those are allotted to the component A and B as per the following basis. So particular rupees and basis of allocation is given here. So machine setup cost is 5,28,000. The basis of allocation for which is setup time per batch. This cost is according to the setup time per batch, and the setup time per batch will come in other part of this question only. So testing cost 21 lakh, testing time per unit will be the allocation basis of allocation. There are some additional information again. Particular component A and component B, there are 3 columns, and I am reading particulars. Production batch size for component A is 1 lakh and component B is 500. Setup time per batch is 30 hours and 36 hours, and setting time per unit is 6 hours and 9 hours. So this is how we have finished the additional information, and still we are in dilemma what to find in this question. So there are 2 heads which are guiding us what to calculate. First, this is the question in which you will going to deal with 2 other question. This can be asked for your 10 marks or 8 marks. So this is the first question. In this question we will be having 2 sub questions. So first is percentage of markup on full cost. Percentage of markup on full cost for each of component A and B. What we are required to calculate is, we have to calculate percentage of markup on full cost for A and B. This is the question 1. And the question 2 is, if the sale price of component A and B are to be brought down to 9 per unit and 135 per unit respectively, what should be the target cost for 2 products to maintain the same markup percentage on full cost per unit as at present? So what is sub question 2 is saying that if we are going to reduce down the cost of component A and B to 9 per unit and 135 per unit for A and B, what should be the target cost then? If we are reducing, so what should be our target cost? So let us have a detailed solution for this question. So before starting main solution, we have to work out to understand what we have to find, how we should find. So first of all, in working note, we will going to put all this question at one table to analyze everything. So in working note, we will first try to write total machine setup cost. Okay, we are doing this working note for getting the testing cost, to get total testing cost. So and to get testing cost rate per hour. To get testing cost testing cost rate per hour, we have to calculate this working note. So how we can calculate this, you have to keep in your mind and put this pro forma in your mind to get total testing time. We will get first what is the total testing time and what is the cost for that. Okay, so let us begin with our solution, and our first aim is to get total testing time. We will be getting total testing time after finishing our working note, and after that we will going to calculate testing cost rate per hour. Okay, this is not too easy to understand, hence you have to put more emphasis, your more concentration to understand this video. Okay, so let us begin with our solution. Okay, So we will first write total machine setup cost. We'll write here total machine setup cost. Where how we can find this cost? This is written in your question in second table, where machine setup cost is written as 5,28,000. I am taking this from question, no any calculation for this. This is in rupees. We are getting total, that's why we need not to write here. We are writing we are writing here directly. Okay, we got total machine setup cost. Now to get total testing cost and to get testing cost per unit, you will be requiring the total testing time. So this is the calculation to get total testing time. Okay, and time will be in hours. So whatever we will be getting in this column, that will be in hours only. So we are writing here right now. We will be getting here unit numbers and hours. To get how much we will be writing here the hours, the time which we will going to use to produce component A and component B. So we will be going to write first here is total, sorry, we have written total here, the production and sales. So you can get production and sales from your question only, which is written in the starting of the question. Annual production and sale of 1 lakh, and 50,000 respectively. This is in the starting of the question. We are writing simply the question's amount. We haven't calculated anything here right now. Okay, so let us write then what will be the batch size. And batch size is written as you can find that in third column, third table, where you will be getting first point, production batch size, and that one is 1,500. This is in units and this one is in numbers. This is the batch size. Batch size means in a particular action which will be taken at a time, that will be calling to which we will be calling batch. And in one batch we will be producing 1,000 units, 1,000 numbers, 1,000 products of component A. Done. After that we can write here numbers of batches. How many batches we will be producing. So numbers of batches, and numbers of batches are 100. And how we can find that? That one is written in question only. So we will be writing 100 and 100. Done. Okay. After that, next thing is setup time. And setup time for this, setup time per batch, which will be in hours. This will be in hours and this will be in numbers. So in hours we have in question
This is in our question in third table, second point, setup time per batch 30 hours and 36 hours.
30 hours and 36 hours.
After that, we'll be having total setup time
And total setup time.
and total setup time will be in
Time can be indicated in hours.
that will be in hours.
So total setup time will be numbers of batches into setup time. 100 into 300, that is 3000, and 100 into 36, that means 3600.
That is how you can get total setup time. After that, we will be getting setup rate.
You have to get this format in your mind to get total testing time. You have to think these all things, and you have to write. You have to write this at stepwise. You have to learn this at properly to get total testing time.
So setup rate for this is we have setup rate is 80. Okay. Setup rate is 80. After that, testing time per unit.
This will be testing time per unit.
So how we can calculate testing time per unit? We can get this from third table and third point, that is testing time per unit 6 hours. This is in hours.
6 hours and 9 hours.
Okay. So now we have completed with our shifting process.
We haven't calculated anything here except this one, and now we will going to
calculate our main topic, total testing time.
we can put it right here like this. We can write here total testing time. We will be getting total testing time here,
And total testing time is 6 into the annual production and sales. So annual production and sales is 6 lakh. 6 lakh annual sales production is 1 lakh, and this is 6 lakh. So how we can get total testing time? Production and sales into total testing per unit. So 6 into 1 lakh, that will be 6 lakh, and 9 into production and sales 50,000, 9 into 50,000, 4 lakh 50,000. This is how you can calculate your total testing time. But this is total testing time. This testing time is for A and for B, and total testing time will be plus of A and B, and that will be 10 lakh 50,000. So this is how you can calculate your total testing time. If you are finding it difficult, so you have to watch this video again and again. You have to read this concept properly, and if you still have doubt, so you can simply clear doubt by calling me. So after that we will be getting our this so we have did for testing cost rate per hour. We have to calculate testing cost rate per hour. This can be somewhat difficult for you because this is new to you. So to get this very clear, you have to read it properly. So total testing cost is 21 lakh. And how we can find that? This is in second table, second point, testing cost. We can write it like this: testing cost is 21 lakh. Testing cost is 21 lakh, and we have to calculate testing cost rate per unit. So how we can calculate that? We for this formula will be total testing cost. This is testing cost divided by total testing time. Testing cost divided by total testing time. So this will be 21 lakh divided by 10.5 lakh will equal to 2, and this will be your testing cost rate per unit. This is your testing cost rate per hour. Okay, this is your testing cost rate per hour. Sorry, there was my mistake. Testing cost rate per hour. How this you can calculate by total testing cost can be divided by total testing cost can be divided by total testing time to get testing cost rate per hour. So we have completed our working note. Now we are doing this for our actual calculations. But before this, you cannot get the question, the answer properly. So we want to calculate here calculation of cost per unit. So each and every cost can be considered here. So I want to mention here first material, which is material is 43 lakh, and 32 lakh. Okay, now after material, direct labor, and labor is 15 lakh and 10 lakh. Then after that, we're going to have machine cost. Machining is 7 lakh and 5,50,000. After that, machine setup cost. And machine setup cost can be calculated by machine setup cost is your total machine setup cost is 5,28,000. Okay, and our machine setup time, give your concentration here. Machine setup, we are finding machine setup cost. So total machine setup cost is 5,28,000. This is your total, but how we can divide this cost into A and B? So we will be going to divide it on the basis of setup time per batch. So setup time per batch for A is setup time per batch. You can refer this column, last column. So setup time for A is 30 and for B is 36. So 5,28,000 is, and for this is the total of this will be 66. So 5,28,000 is for 66. So what will be the cost for 30, that is for A. So 5,28,000 is for 66. So what will be the cost for 30 units, for 30 for A? So we'll be calculating this and you'll be getting new amount. So that amount will come as 2,40,000. Okay, and after that same will be applied to 5,28,000 is for 66 hours. This is for 66 hours. So how many what will be the amount for 36 units? For 36 units, so you can get here amount 2,88,000. See, I have given logic to you how to calculate this. You can write your own by this in your working note, and you can put here like working note. So you can write here like this to understand what is the calculation of this. So I cannot take this because I cannot put it here like this only. I have to rub this because I have to use this board. So this is how you can calculate this cost. Actually, this problem is too big, so this is not possible to cover this cover this problem in this lecture only. So we have completed in this lecture what is the working note for this and what are these costs. So we are lacking of time, so the next part of this solution will be dealt in next lecture. So you have to see what was the question, how you can deal with that question, and you have to first understand the question, and you must know what question is asking you to find. So please give your concentration to this question because it can be difficult for you. So next part will be on the other part of our solution. So we are stopping here for this, but next part will be on the further part of this. Next will be on for next video will be on further part of this solution. So till then you read question properly, which is in your description box, and give your concentration on your studies. So thank you for this, and continue. I am continuing this lecture in next lecture only. So please give your focus to this question and try to understand this question in next week video as well. Thank you.